Put that in there. One of the biggest questions I always get asked is, what drone fishing combos are you using? How are you using them? Why you're using those? Which is your favorite drone when you're doing medium game fishing? So most people that I see are interested in catching medium to big fish, which is why I brought out the medium game arsenal here. So here we got the Swellpro FD3, Makaira 20,000, which I just got. We got an Alijos 5 right here, and then right here we got the Makaira 10, all right? So I'm gonna explain to you, along with the rods, why I use that, all right? So let's go ahead and get started. In this video, if you have any questions whatsoever in regards to reels, rods, the drones, go ahead and leave them in the comments and I'll get to them as soon as possible. All right guys, so before we begin with the reels, I wanna mention that all these reels are gonna be on Okuma PCH rods. The reason that I choose the PCH rods is because the high quality of components on these rods for 200 bucks. So here's the extra heavy version of the PCH. Look at that. That's an Alps reel seat. Perfect. Beautiful reel seat, heavy duty. Then we go to the guides. Quality Alps guides right there, check it out. And the blank is also outstanding here. The extra heavy, landed big fish on it. But this is why I like to choose the Okuma PCH, because it has high quality components for the price. Here's the medium, check out the medium right here. Alps reel seat. This one has Fuji guides on it. And the extra heavy spin, PCH as well. This one, check out the reel seat right here. All quality components on this stuff. All right, so the first reel I want to talk about here, this is the Okuma Alijos 5. This is my quote unquote medium small game reel. It's the smallest physically, but this here has a lot of power. I got this set at 24 pounds of drag, which is a lot for a small reel here. The reason I like this is because it's such a small reel, it feels great on the hand, has a lot of power in such a small reel here. I got a spool with 50-pound braid, check it out. It's around 450 yards of the stuff around here, so it has plenty of capacity to stop anything. Actually, we've stopped some big fish with this reel here. Let me show you, check out these videos real quick. Oh man, we got a big fish on right there. Check it out, guys. But what I really also like about this is so much drag for such a small reel here. And also it has a really loud clicker. Check this out. You got a big fish running. Really nice, loud. You can hear it through breakers, breaking on big waves, breaking on the jetty, the beach, anywhere you go here. This can stop anything. And also if you wanted to cast something out, let's say you wanted to cast out a small mullet or a large mullet, it has tension knob there to adjust the spool speed so you don't get a burst nest when you're casting that out. Check that out. Really fast spool when you don't have the tensioner on, but you can adjust it here. And also I added here the rubber stopper here. So when I'm droning out a bait and the spool spinning fast, I can just use it lightly here to thumb the spool, so I have to use my thumb here. I know a lot of people, when they're drone fishing, what they like to do is they like to add some drag. I don't like that because I feel like it's burning through the drag pretty fast. I feel like it's burning, it's unnecessary use on the drag, so I just thumb it. Check it out. Here, the rod is the Okuma PCH. This is a medium, 7 foot, great combo here, really light. You can fight fish all day. And this here, this little setup here, a lot of stopping power. I've caught a lot of big fish with this setup right here. Check it out. This is a 2-speed reel here. It's have it on high gear. You press that button there and it goes into low gear. If you got a big fish and it's fighting really hard, like a giant stingray at the beach, you put it on the low gear, you crank it right in. Or if your weight is stuck pretty good in the sand, put it on low gear, crank it right in, check it out. This reel here for $350, perfect for anything, whether you're fishing from the beach, the jetty, perfect drag, small, looks sick, nice power handle on here. This is ready to catch anything. And you don't even have to use it as a drone fisher, you can just cast it out. All right guys, next one up. This here is the mini tank here, this thing. You know, the funny thing is that when I bought this reel here, this is the Makaira 10, when I bought this reel here, I was just gonna use it for cast outs at the pier. Check it out. But we kind of find out that this little Makaira 10 can basically stop anything inshore. We've caught sharks up to 7 feet with this reel here and only 50-pound braid. So we upped it to 65 pounds. And with 65 pounds, although this reel can only hold around 300 yards of that pound line, we would put it on strike here. The strike is at 25 pounds, boom. And literally, instantly, what would happen was that I would put it on strike and all of a sudden just these fish will just bend and just bend the rod here, and literally with 50 pounds, just reel in the fish real fast, really quick with this here. To me, a lot of people, when they see me use the Makaira 10, they say that it might be a little irresponsible to use it, especially for shark fishing, because they think that I'm fighting these sharks for about an hour with this small reel, but it really max 10 minutes. Makaira 10,000, what a beast here. I have this set at the strike, has around 20 pounds of drag, and as I keep pulling the slider up, it can get up to 34 pounds of drag. Nothing escapes this reel here. Nothing. For being such a small reel here, I can see why it has a billfish on there, because this is what it's for. But we use it to catch inshore, medium to big game here with the drone. Check it out, gold color, looks real good. Really nice loud clicker here. Black 65-pound braid on here. Small, nice power handle on here, fits great on the hand. And I got this here on the Okuma PCH. Correction, this is the extra heavy, so I like to use this. I know the rod is pretty heavy for this reel here, but when I'm at the jetty, because we've caught big fish at the jetty also here with this, put it on strike real quick, and if you need more drag, 25 pounds of drag, 30 pounds of drag, with this setup here, you can crank it down, put it on your fighting belt, boom, easily land any fish. Check it out. All right, let's go ahead and get up close and personal with the Makaira 10 here. Check it out, we got several presets, 1, 2, strike 3, and this is full here. Check it out. This is a 2-speed Makaira, of course. Here we got the high speed right there. Once we click it in, let's click it in. We got it at low gear. Check it out, and then we go ahead and hit this button here. Pop it back out to regular gear here. A lot of cranking power once you put it on the low gear here, a lot. Here we can preset our drags here with this little knob here. And then, of course, here's the other set here. We set the drag here, and here are our presets. 65-pound braid. This is Onyx Power Pro Super Slick. Looks really nice. Very elegant looking reel in gold. Check it out. There's your clicker setting. Really nice. Check it out. Powerful little reel. I love it. Powerhouse. I added the black rubber surgical tubing here to slow down the spool when I'm droning out. The rod here. Check out the quality components that this has here. Look at that reel seat. Beautiful reel seat. It looks great. Nice colors on the rod here with Alps guides. Okuma PCH custom. Beautiful setup, can stop anything. All right, guys, so next up we got the Okuma Makaira 20,000. So this reel I actually haven't used yet. I'm dying to use it, I just can't wait. Spring and summer just can't get here fast enough. So we have the 10,000 version of it. We've caught a lot of fish with 10,000. We've caught a lot of big sharks, caught everything inshore actually in Texas with it, besides snook. It's a little overkill for Texas snook. But I'm dying to use a 20,000 because I wanted to see if I can get a spinning reel that's big enough that I can drone out and catch huge fish with here. Here we got 500 or so yards of 60-pound braid on here. But the reason that I got this here is because one thing that I learned with spinning reels is that these are a lot easier to fly out. The reason I like this is because it's basically a lever drag spinning reel, but I no longer have to spool the thumb when I'm flying out a bait with a spinning reel like this here. So just let it fly out, no big deal. You don't have to worry about a burst nest or burning your finger or any of that stuff. But the section up here, check it out. I can't really get enough of this because I love this about this reel. The drag system, it's a lever drag and a spinning reel. You can have your preset on there, just like on a lever drag. You have a 1, 2, and a strike, like on the Makaira. So you got this on here too. 1, 2, 3, it doesn't say strike, but you can preset your strike right there and then adjust during the fight. So you're gonna set your drag with this here, and then with the big one, that's gonna be your presets. Check it out, how cool is that? That's so sick, I love it. All right guys, so here the rod is, this is the Okuma PCH 7.6 and extra heavy. Now in the video I've talked about having short rods. Most of these rods don't go over 8 feet. And the reason that I like the shorter rods, because these give me a lot of leverage over something that's 10 feet, 11 feet, 12 feet here. With this, you can control the fish a lot better in my opinion. A fish has less leverage, especially big fish. And when you're fighting fish from like a jetty or high bank areas, like on a pier, the shorter rod is gonna give you way more leverage. You're gonna get less tired. So that's when I started switching out to shorter rods for drone fishing. Check it out. Now the big question is, what drone are you using? So here you go, guys. This is the Swellpro FD3. This is what I use most of the time when I'm drone fishing, especially medium game, even big sharks. If I want to fly something huge like an 8-pound bait, 7 pounds, then I'm going to switch down to the FD2. But most of the time I'm doing my fishing with the Swellpro FD3. This has a bait capacity of almost 5 pounds. I've flown this drone in some crazy weather. I've flown it in 35-mile winds with no problems. I even got up to 40-mile winds one time just to test it. That was really sketchy, but it got the bait out. It got the bait out. I've dunked this in the water. I've had it fly like 30 feet, and I turned the motors off, and it just went straight into the water. I flipped it over in the water. I used the flip mode on it, so it can just flip over like this, and it's worked. I mean, I've never had an accident with it though. I've never crashed it. I've never lost control of it, any of that stuff. I'm pretty experienced at flying these types of drones. I've been flying fishing drones for about 3 years now. Never had an issue with any of them. Any Swellpro, I've never had any crash, lost, or anything. Check it out. This here's a workhorse, great bang for the buck. Swellpro FD3 right here, check it out. If you want to purchase a Swellpro, I do have a code through Swellpro, Bomber SWP, for 10% off your next order. Check it out. Let's get a little more in depth on this, okay? All right, so up close and personal with the FD3, it has carbon fiber rotors. Check that out. Look really sleek. These are very sharp, by the way. See, right here we got the remote ID. So these are required if you're flying in the United States. Remote IDs, so you got to turn these on when you're flying it so the FAA knows where you're flying at right here. Don't forget this. Here's a camera. This is a 4K camera, which I use to get aerial footage. I don't have a DJI or any of that stuff to get B-roll. I actually use this drone here, and it looks really good. I go into Adobe Premiere Pro and I do some auto corrections. I do some color adjustments and then some stabilization. It looks crazy good. Here is a bait dropper here. It has 2 slots for bait drops. I don't know why it has 2. I only use 1. I don't think I would ever fly 2 baits with this. I would get tangled up when you're flying. So yeah, definitely just use one of these. You can use the A or B. It doesn't matter which one. Just don't use them together at the same time. It's a little dirty. I should clean it off. I lube these too so they don't get stuck or corroded in there. The FD3 and the FD2 Fisherman Max come with a nice remote with a screen on it like that. It has decent resolution on it. It gives you all your stats, your distance, your height. Here you got your GPS coordinates, and right here you got your camera settings. I have it at 4K, 30 frames per second. All right, guys, so now rig-wise, what I use for a leader, I like to use a Third Coast Fishing. I like to use this drone tether here. This is important here when you're drone fishing, the drone tether. But he makes leaders for me, the Beach Bomber special rigs that I make, 6 foot, that he makes for 6 feet, that I designed. Check this out right here. So the way that I use these rigs here, let me show you real quick. So here you got the swivel here, where you're gonna tie your main line to, and then you got your drone tether. This here, what's gonna happen is you're gonna attach your drone tether to the drone at the bottom of the bait holder here. What's gonna happen is when you're flying out, you're gonna have this connected to the drone, and your line is gonna be like this, so it's gonna be hanging down away from the drone to prevent it from tangling in the lines. You don't always need the drone tether. It's just for extra insurance and safety to make sure that doesn't happen. I've never had any line tangled up in the drone when I'm flying out, but this is just in case. Check it out, just in case. All right, guys, well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is a general video to give you a general idea of what I use for medium game up to big game drone fishing from shore. I will make a separate video with big game shark rigs that I use. I got other Makairas that I like to use to fish with big sharks, either from the jetty or from the beach. But this here, with this setups here, I'm catching reds, drum, sharks up to 7 feet really easily with this stuff. Highly quality stuff. And this is what I've landed a lot of my fish. You know, I love drone fishing. I especially like fishing off the jetties because you immediately have access to really, really deep water, which you normally wouldn't have access to. Even if you're yakking at the beach, you go out 1,000 yards, let's say, you're probably not even in 30 feet of water most of the time. But if you go to the jetty, you get your drone and you fly like 100 yards in the middle of channels into holes. You compare that with knowledge of what you have, the tides, and maybe use an app to check out the depth of the areas, you can really get some baits really deep out there into some really deep water. And who knows, you might be hooking up 10-foot sharks, tarpon, something, huge freaking carpet rays, something, you know. To me, drone fishing is a tool that has allowed me to get to deeper waters quickly, faster, more efficiently. This is not for everybody. A lot of people do not like drone fishing, but hey, as long as I enjoy it, that's all I care about. Whether other people like it or not, I really don't give a f. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.